In 2004, Dove functioned as a 70-year-old soap brand. Its entire market presence relied on a single legacy specification, a formula containing 1/4 moisturizing cream. When the patent on that formula expired, the brand's sole functional differentiator vanished. Competitors replicated the claim, exposing Dove to mass commoditization. Today, Dove holds a dominant position in the personal care market, having avoided the decline that typically follows the loss of a product's unique feature. Their sales have grown from $2.6 billion to $6.5 billion. They managed this growth by defining an entirely new subcategory of purpose-driven hygiene products. This raises a central question for any strategist. How does a structurally vulnerable product sitting on an expired patent achieve this level of growth without relying on updated physical specs? To find the answer, we look to David Aaker, the author and professor who established the framework for translating abstract strategy into tangible market force. Aaker's research makes a specific case. Product specifications cannot sustain a commodity. Success requires an operational transition from product reliance to active brand asset management. Aaker organizes this system through the 5 B's framework, with brand equity serving as the foundational element. Brand equity is a stored financial asset. It is a measurable value that lives on the balance sheet and generates ongoing revenue for the organization. This diagram represents a brand vision. It identifies the pillars of the brand's identity, but at this stage, it is an inert blueprint. It provides the logic without the energy to move it. In the real market, this blueprint is suppressed by extreme media clutter and deep audience skepticism. These forces act as friction, preventing a static vision from reaching the customer. Overcoming this friction requires the mechanism of activation. Organizations must deploy specific brand-building actions to push their strategy through the noise and convert the blueprint into a market-moving force. Without a dedicated activation engine, even a rigorous strategic vision remains effectively invisible to the market. The first activation requirement is to find and employ branded energizers. Most brands suffer from strategic entropy. Over time, they become bland and lose visibility, which makes them vulnerable to newer, more energetic competitors. This 12-year Y&R brand asset valuator study provides proof. Standard brands saw trust drop 50% and perceived quality fall 24% over a decade. But a subset defied this trend. These high-energy brands maintained their image and financial performance, resisting category decay. Aaker identifies 4 sources of energy: visible innovation, customer involvement, sponsorships, and passion for social programs. Dove applied this directly, knowing their moisturizing feature was no longer a competitive moat. They bypassed product features to focus on a social program addressing female self-esteem. The Real Beauty campaign served as a branded energizer. It reached hundreds of millions of people, providing the visibility the core brand needed. Gaining market attention in a cluttered environment requires a connection to an independent source of energy. Product benefits alone struggle to break through modern noise. The second activation requirement is to mobilize your employees. Resilient brands require a foundation of internal cultural alignment before external marketing can be effective. External marketing campaigns create an operational disconnect when the internal corporate culture lacks an understanding of the vision. Every employee must complete a 3-stage progression: learn the vision, believe in its purpose, and engage with it daily. If the organization fails to believe, activation halts. Strategic energy from the center is blocked, and the promise never reaches the market. An aligned employee base acts as a decentralized filter, ensuring that all cross-silo decisions remain consistent with the brand's identity. This internal clarity motivates breakthrough ideation at every level, turning the workforce into a primary brand asset. Firmly, market dominance is impossible if your internal culture contradicts your external promise. Action 3 is to explore external role models. Highly siloed environments often suffer from a structural limitation: the internal echo chamber. Traditional internal brainstorming often results in safe, incremental product changes. These minor tweaks rarely provide the momentum needed to activate a brand. Aaker suggests seeking out organizations that have already successfully navigated similar structural hurdles. To find these models, strategists must look entirely outside of their own industry and competitive set. The process involves deconstructing these external models to extract their core stories, proof points, and visual metaphors. You then adapt these elements to your own brand vision to create novel market actions that your competitors aren't expecting. Strategic breakthroughs require cannibalizing concepts from unrelated industries to escape the stagnation of your own category. The final requirement is to get the success measures right. Modern data analytics create a systemic bias toward metrics that are easy to track in the short term. This spinning dial represents tactical metrics like daily clicks, immediate leads, and conversion rates. Managing exclusively to this dial inadvertently starves long-term brand building. This focus on immediate wins erodes pricing power and destroys loyalty. To counterbalance this, organizations must instead track 3 steady gauges: relevance, image, and loyalty. These equity measures must share space with financial metrics at the executive table to ensure the brand's health is prioritized alongside current sales. What an organization measures dictates its strategic direction. Trading long-term equity for immediate tactical gains results in the exhaustion of the brand's pricing power. By locking these 4 actions together, you create a unified operational system. Brand activation is not a singular event. It is a continuous, rigorous process that must be sustained over years. We see the effectiveness of this sustained process in the 2 decades of Dove's growth. The Dove turnaround relied on a 20-year commitment to internal culture building, external partnerships, and the continuous tracking of brand relevance. This sustained architectural build provides a much higher rate of return than the common reflex for quick, superficial marketing fixes. A brand vision remains a purely theoretical concept until it is deliberately and systematically pushed into the market. Enduring market dominance belongs to organizations that treat their brand as a living asset, activated through action and measured by its long-term equity.